Hello everyone, my name is Christina Chismar, just here for another edition of Chair Yoga with the Mayor's Wellness Campaign. As usual, please make sure that you have spoken with a physician before beginning any exercise regime. Try to wear loose-fitting clothing. Personally, I don't like wearing shoes when I do yoga. Always try to keep water handy. Today we are going to be focusing more on standing postures. Do a quick little warm-up. As usual, if you would like to do a little more warm-up, if you want to add on to anything, you always have the option of looking at the other videos. The very first video that we did is more of warm-up exercises, breathing exercises, etc. so forth. So we'll start seated in Sukhasana. If you want, you can have your back leaning against your chair. I like to have a nice straight back to start, shoulders rolled in, keeping your neck nice and long, eyes closed if you like, hands on your thighs, palms up for receiving energy, palms down for grounding, just depending on how you are feeling today. And we'll just start with just taking some deep breaths in, exhaling out. As you center yourself into your day, just letting everything go, anything that you have planned for the rest of it, anything that's already happened, just put everything aside for now. This is your time. Do a little body wake up. So once again, if you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed, keep your hands on your thighs, or if you're feeling a little off balance today, you can always put your hands onto the sides of the chair. Do not grip the chair. The chair is just there to support you, not for you to use as a life vest or buoy, whatever. So I'll start doing some side stretch. So taking your left hand to the side, bring your right hand overhead, letting it drop down. Just opening up that side body, keeping those sits bones down. Just finding what feels good here. If this is too much, you always have the option to put your hands on your shoulders. You can do both shoulders if you like. Maybe bring your hand to the outside of your head. Just stretching out. Don't want to put pressure on it. You don't want to try to break your neck. You're not bringing everything down. You're just opening up your side, stretching it out. Back to center, opposite side, same as before, just opening up that side body, stretching it out, keeping those sits bones down, waking up anything that has been dormant. Same as before, if you had your hands on your shoulders, both shoulders, side of the head, just whatever feels good to you. Listening to your body is getting you back in touch with your body. Turn your head off to focus in on yourself. That feels good. Doing a couple cat cows. So once again, hands on thighs or chair, depending on what feels good. Inhale, making your belly huge, nice and big, really inflating, getting all that air in. Exhale, getting all that air out, trying to get your belly button to your spine, rolling it if you'd like to get into an angry cat, coming all the way back up through your cow pose. Exhaling back through your cat. One more, inhaling to your cow. Exhaling to your kitty cat. Maybe making some hip circles as big or as little as you like, even if it's just going back and forth. Just trying to get the hips warmed up enough, because when we do our standing postures, it can get a little wearing. So just keeping it nice and lubricated will help out. So making them as big or as little as you'd like, any direction you choose. If you are making the circles, making sure you're going the opposite way. Just finding a rhythm, keeping your sits bones down. We don't need anybody falling off chairs. Back to center. Inhaling, bring your legs out in front of you, arms all the way up to the sky, taking a full back. Stretch, 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 stretch. Fold in, dropping your hands to wherever it feels good, even if it's just the spokes of the chair. Just bending forward, trying to keep your back as straight as possible. This way you get the lift. So you're shifting from your hips down, not shifting from your booty down. So I feel like that's when we get our little downward hump thing or a little hunchback stuff going on. You want to try to have your back as straight as possible. We'll get to work. We'll do more stretching towards the ends before our nap. So starting standing up, we will do my favorite, our squats. So we'll only do 5 today. So once again, bring your arms up overhead if you'd like, or bring them down to the chair. I like to make sure that my knees are not going over my toes. As you exhale, bringing yourself down, almost to the chair. Lift it back up, squeezing in. Exhale, drop it in. Inhale up for 2. Exhaling down. Inhale up for 3. Exhale down. Inhale up. Last one. Exhale down. This time holding it. Maybe bring your arms up. Bring your hands to heart center. Completely up to you. Just keeping yourself just from sitting down. 3, 2, 1, and drop. Wiggling it out to whatever feels good. And coming to stand, we'll start with, once again, my favorite, doing the tree pose. Once again, your chair is being used as a prop. It's to help you with your balance. Some days you'll get this perfectly, other days it just won't happen. Something as silly as maybe you slept wrong, maybe you didn't drink enough water, who knows. But once again, I'm going to move my chair over to the side for most of this, just so you can see. So you're going to be rooting into, to the other side. Rooting into your right foot to start, putting all that weight in, lifting up your toes so you're not squinching them in. Another reason why it's good not to wear the shoes. As you settle into all 4 corners of your feet, letting it grow roots into the ground enough to lift your left foot up, kickstanding it, putting it against your calf or thigh, staying off of that knee, because remembering, you're putting pressure against your body in order to stand. If you're putting pressure on a joint, you're not going to joint out. You don't want that. Knees are sensitive enough. At least mine are. I have a friend who's had like 3 operations on both his knees. Poor Jim. So finding what feels good. You might find out that you can do this today, and then tomorrow you do this video again, you can't get past here. Find what feels good. You're rooting down. So as you're finding your wristy gauge, your unmoving point, wherever that may be, I like how it feels here today. But maybe bring your hands to heart center or keeping them on the chair, but looking in front of you, finding that unmoving point. And if you have your roots and you feel a little wobbly, remembering you're lifting yourself up. Think of yourself as a redwood tree, straightening yourself up to make yourself grow higher and longer. Maybe swaying in the wind if you'd like to pretend, but whatever feels good. If you have a little shake, if you're wobbly, that's good. It means that you haven't been really working those muscles that much. So good time to do it now. When you're done playing, bring your hands back to center. And not slingshotting, placing your foot down, switching legs. I like to have my standing leg close to the chair if I'm using it for support, so this way, 1, I'm not bringing my knee into it, and 2, it's like the whole crutches thing. I always think of House with the cane. He always is caning on the good leg, right? I don't remember. Rooting into all 4 corners, lifting those toes up again, kickstands, calf, thigh. You might find out that on this side, thigh feels great, or no thank you. Once again, finding wherever it feels comfortable. This might not be good for your knee. This might feel better on this knee, as long as you stay off of your standing knee. I don't care where you're going. Finding that unmoving point in front of you, that wristy gaze, because it's a fun word to say. And bring your hands to heart center if it's accessible. Keeping on the chair if it's not happening. Growing your branches if you feel like playing. Once again, the work is balancing. You are spreading your hips out. You're having one hip face away from you and one face towards me. It's helping open things up. It's just helping with your balance. It's one of the best poses to do balancing. We'll play around with this in a second after we're done playing with our tree. Bring your hands back down, releasing the right leg down to meet the left slowly. That's how we gain our strength. We'll do our flamingo, then we'll play around. So once again, rooting into all 4 corners of your right foot. This way we're not putting all the weight on one foot to start. Lifting that left foot up behind you, whether it be just a couple inches, even just behind you, lifting it all the way up. Grabbing that foot, whatever feels good. If you have this and you want to play, you can always extend one arm out. If you've been doing this a while and you're like, I can do more, try stretching that back leg back. You're pressing your left foot into your left hand. Pressing it back, coming into a dancer's pose. Ooh. Finding what feels good. The chair is your friend. Props are awesome. Just finding what feels good. But whatever variation you take, just making sure that you're slowly easing your way out of it. The slower, the better. Shaking it out, doing whatever feels good, setting up right side. So once again, just lifting it behind you. Behind, depending on how high it feels. If this feels good, do it. I like how this feels good on the front of my thigh. And same as before, if it's in your practice, maybe on one side, try it out on the other side. One thing I love about yoga, doesn't matter. One side's always going to feel different than the other. One side's going to feel more open. Oh, yeah, that's not happening today. But stretching it out, enjoying it, playing with it. It's just yoga. And lowering yourself back down to wherever felt good before. Fun exercises to do when you're standing in line. I'm going to do this without the chair just to show you. So, once again, playing with our balance. If you're standing in, let's say, a line, pretending that we actually still have lines, just, whoa, still go to the supermarket. Starting with our right foot, putting your weight into your right foot, maybe just crossing it over the front. Maybe try lifting it up, making a figure 4 if it's accessible. Bending into it if you'd like to. Don't forget you have the chair. Just finding a little play. Even just the act of just crossing your foot over. Once again, you're just playing with your balance. Try the other side now. Same as before, rooting into all 4 corners of that left foot, taking your right out in front of you. Crossing it over. Always read that it's not good to have your legs crossed all the way now. So now you cross them at your ankles like they used to do. Once again, you have your chair. Maybe do your figure 4. Maybe bend down if you're trying to be a show-off like me. Falling out just means that your body's not used to being in this position. Taking that little micro bend, I'm not talking about a full bend in your knee, not full chair. You don't need to do that. Oh, look, I feel like a Russian dancer. Find whatever feels good. I personally like how this feels, just having that cross. Just shaking it out. Back when we first started doing this program, there was one leg lift. It always reminded me of Jack LaLanne. Yes, I know who Jack LaLanne is. Once again, using your chair as support if you'd like. Starting with the right foot, once again, placing it down, rooting it in. Just taking the left leg out to the side, wherever it feels good. It's working into your hips. This is more of a moving meditation in the sense that you're not standing and holding it. You have to focus on your muscles. Otherwise, it just starts getting sloppy. So just find the focus as you lift yourself up. Even if it's just this much. Depending on how high you go is how much you get into your glutes. Now start going behind you. Start feeling the pain. If you want to, add a little dip in that front knee if you need to. Now swinging forward, pendulum. Just focusing on the movement, keeping yourself as straight as can be. This way I don't want to say isolating, but it is an isolation because you're not just working that leg by working that muscle. You're also working in your core by holding it steady. Try doing no hands. Things are fun to play with. Lowering down, switching sides, feeling that right leg. Knee, 2. Setting yourself up again. First going out to the sides. Finding that spot once again. Maybe taking a little dip. That feels funny, but I feel like a little ballerina doing that. Keeps me entertained. My daughter's going to be a ballerina or a princess when she grows up, so don't mind me. Just finding that spot. Doing these for as many as you need to, and bring them behind you. Press it back. Taking a little bend if you like. Think of it as a curtsy. That feels kind of nice, actually. I like that. Pendulum. Just finding your balance, maybe taking your hands off, realizing that you are working onto your core. Putting your hands on your stomach. Feel it. You'll only really feel the muscle here, but you'll feel the heat growing in your belly as well. Kind of cool. And stop. Whew. A couple more toe lifts once again, going into making sure that we're not in our toes. One of my favorite exercises to do. Lift those toes up. Try lifting up. Ball to your feet, bouncing on your heels. Roll forward without rolling forward. Just working the feet. Lift your heels up. Lift your balls up. Heels. Toes. Feels like a fidgeting kid. Once again, noticing that my legs are not squinched together. They're apart. Lift. One more. Feels kind of good. So going, since we did our squats before, I just want to show you just another way you can do your squats by using the chair. Since you now have the back of it as opposed to open laying down in front of you. Once again, hands placed on the chair, not putting all your weight into it. Lowering yourself down, trying to find the seat behind you. Lift it up. Lower down. Lifting up. Making sure that your feet are not together. Lowering down. And lowering down. Last one. Lower down. Good job. What should we do? Now we're going to do forward folds and twists. Done them before. Just doing them again. Feels just fun. So just doing a downward dog using the back of the chair to start. Taking your hands to the chair, lowering yourself down to wherever feels good. Legs apart. Rolling those shoulders into your back. One thing that's always a pain in the neck, especially when you do it on a mat. When you roll it, and I have to show you. When you roll your shoulders into your back, and you're rolling into the rotator cuffs. Shoulders in the back is better for you. If you're not getting your shoulders rolled in, you're damaging your rotator cuff. Just easing forward. Find that spot. Try to get your back as flat as you can. If you start getting dizzy, get out of it. I'm noticing that my back legs are straight. I'm not pressing for, oh God, I'm going to fall if I do that. If you're going to fall doing that, don't do it. Press it in. If you feel like being creative, warrior 3. Whoa. Downward dog, front of the chair. Same as before. If you get dizzy, get out of it. Think of it more as a forward fold as well. So hands on your chair, reaching forward to the back of it, just bending in. Inhale, half lift up. Exhale, bend. You should feel that in your hamstrings. Getting into a little bit of a twist here. Did them before standing. If it's too much to do it standing on the chair, you always have the option. I don't have a big book. If you happen to have yoga blocks, awesome. If you don't, getting something maybe as high as my water bottle, but much thicker. This way, if you don't feel comfortable bringing your foot all the way up, you're putting your foot onto something. I am going to put my foot all the way up, just because I don't really have anything to balance it on. So we'll go one way, then we'll go the other way. And then we'll switch sides. So right leg up to start. Take a nice inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, start turning, opening yourself up to the back of the room. Maybe taking your hand behind you. Seeing how that feels. If you're comfortable with this and you don't feel wobbly, you can always take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh. Feels a little weird. Come back through, try it on the other side. Left foot up. Arms all the way to the sky, and once again opening up, this time to the back of the chair. Putting your hands on the chair. I like how that feels. This feels a lot safer. Maybe looking over your left shoulder. Always drop your hand down, maybe put it on your hip. Maybe try to bring it behind you. Grab whatever feels good. And switch sides. We will do the way I don't like first because we did on one side. Want to make sure we're not walking sideways. I said that to my kids one time in a kids class I taught. I said, you have to do both sides, that's why you walk sideways. So they're all walking sideways. They're cute and I love them. So once again, finding your balance. If this is too much, you always have the option to bring it down a notch. You are not in competition with anybody. You are remembering how your range of motion is and increasing your range of motion by doing so. Arms all the way up to the sky for a nice stretch. Opening yourself out to the front of the chair. Maybe taking your hand behind your back. Maybe taking your hand to the outside, right hand to the outside of your left leg. Stretching it out, looking over that left shoulder if it feels good. And coming out of it, switching legs. Finding a happy spot. Even if this is it and you just turn, that's huge. Just the act of the twist and making sure you're not twisting like that. You're starting from your belly, turning in. So once you find out what feels good, if this is it, once again, perfect. Otherwise, arms up to take the stretch. Exhale, opening it up, looking over that right shoulder. Maybe taking your hand to the outside, to the chair, left hand to the chair, left hand to the thigh, depending on how it feels. If this is too much, you can always put your hands on your hip or behind your back, taking that little bind again. Completely up to you. But once again, finding your balance. If you are too wobbly, don't do this. You always have the option to sit. It's a great thing about chairs. Bringing it down a little bit. Do one more standing stretch. Goddess, triangle, stretch now. Bring your arms out all the way up overhead. Full body stretch. Taking left hand to right wrist. Pulling right wrist overhead. Crescent. Looking underneath your armpit if it's accessible. Opening your side body again, just like we did seated, except standing. Back through. Switch hands. Right on left. Pull through, but don't yank. Very easy to hold your breath. Don't hold your breath. Goddess pose, taking your chair as your reminder, spreading your legs out as wide as the chair. Then making sure you're pigeon-toed your feet out, bending in to your knees, go down as far as it feels good. And we'll pulse for 10. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Full body stretch coming into your star. From your star, as we stay into our triangle, starting with our right leg, turn your left foot in to face me. If you need to walk your right foot out a little more, go for it. Arms straight out, noticing my leg is triangled. Notice how my hips just went out? Squeeze everybody back in. Looking over that middle finger, reach forward, drop to wherever feels good. Chair is here for a reason. If you need to extend your leg out, put your hand on the chair. The idea behind this pose is finding the triangles. You have your first triangle between your legs and the floor. Second triangle is between your arm and your leg and your sides. Third one is your side as well as your arm. And then you can always, if you hit the ground, look, I just made another triangle right there. But once again, the whole point is just opening your side body, keeping yourself as straight as possible. You get people who think that the farther down they go, the better. And then they're like this. This isn't doing anybody any favors. Keep it as straight as you can. Chest open, arm up. Always have the chair for support. Another chair. Slowly lifting yourself out of it, switching legs. So this time, right foot faces me, left foot faces out to the side. Setting yourself up once again. Finding where your hips are even. Straightening arms out to a T. Looking over that middle finger, reaching forward to where it feels good. Dropping down. Finding what's open. Find that open spot between your chest and your arms. Looking up to the sky. Always have the option. If it's too much, put your hand on the chair. Hand on your side. Whatever's going to help keep your back from just going like that. Nice straight backs. You didn't think you were going to use geometry? Using geometry. And lifting yourself up whenever you're ready. Getting out of it, shaking it out. Having a seat. Almost done. So we did a lot. And we'll just do some stretching first, and then let ourselves relax so our bodies can recuperate and maintain that information. So starting with your right foot, making your circles with your ankle, as big or as little as you'd like. Cracking it if it feels good. Reversing those circles. We didn't really do a lot with ankles. I honestly think doing that little stretch of going back and forth over the foot is a great indication to help strengthen your ankle. Probably another reason why I don't really wear heels. Drop it and switch. Circles as big or as little as you'd like. Remembering by keeping your back straight and you're making these circles, once again, you're not isolating a muscle by doing this. Reverse the circle. You're also strengthening in your hips because you have your leg up. It's coming out of your hip crease as well. You can actually feel it. If you put your hands there, you can feel that muscle going through. Or tendon. I am not a nurse. Lower down. Squeeze, taking right leg up to you. If you want to, you can take the left leg out in front of you. If it touches the ground, awesome. If you want to just hang out or you don't want to do it at all, completely up to you. Hug it in. Or arm under right thigh, whatever feels good. Edging myself out a little bit. I don't want to be against the chair just yet. So just stretching it in, stretching it out. If you want to go a little farther, try crossing it, but don't drop it. Just cross it enough so it comes in handy to see where it feels good to have your leg. But just cross it over. Huge space here for a reason. Just opening up. If you want to, you can really try to do a twist. Pulling it over to your side. Opening up onto the side body. Once again, I think this is pretty nice. Lower and switch. Hug it in. Find whatever feels good on your right leg. Deciding what you're going to do because you know it's coming. Put it on. Hands under your thigh if it feels better. Or keeping it in front once again. By squeezing in, you're keeping your back straight. And same as before. If you'd like to cross over, bringing that leg in, keeping it out. Just making sure you have all that extra space in there. Maybe opening up to do a twist again, grabbing the back of the chair. Options. If you can do this, I think that's pretty good. Once again, I'm just working into the range of motion. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Coming back through, lowering down. Spreading out your legs a bit wider. And chair width apart. Arms overhead. Or keeping them together. Completely up to you. Dive down. Forward fold, wide as wide as you'd like. Coming back up, taking your time. It's not a rush. Lowering yourself into your chair, releasing your breath, releasing your back. Relax. Eyes closed if you like. Hands by your side or on your thighs. Whatever feels good because we're done with standings for today. Just letting everything that happened, everything that didn't happen, just let it go. Enjoying these last few minutes of peace as you listen to your body. Letting go of what has not been serving you. as long as you'd like. You know, you can always go back, watch video, practice whatever feels good. But for now, I bid you adieu until we meet again. Hands to heart center, bow down to you. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.